Okay, hello. This is the third time I gotta make this video now. I do not have time to sit down and edit a video. As soon as I'm done with this, I gotta cook and eat lunch, do the dishes, clean up, and then I want to spend today um spring cleaning, even though it's winter. It's winter, it's officially winter. I woke up and it was 40 degrees in here, and I had to use the Mr. Buddy heater to warm it up to 55 degrees it's at right now. So I don't have time today to sit down and edit a video because I will be at Wi-Fi tonight, and that is when I want to upload this video and get it out the way and move forward with my life. I'm not quitting YouTube. I know it probably sounds like that right now. I'm not quitting YouTube. I just have different ideas moving forward. We'll get to that in a second. I have notes here that I wrote down so I can stay on topic, so I don't have to edit this video. So the first thing is how I'm doing. I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. I'm still volunteering. Um, uh, I wish I could get a paying position already, but I'm trying to stay patient and hopeful. I know that my hard work will eventually pay off. I know it will. So I'm trying to just stay grounded and move forward and get through this, and in the end it'll all pay off. I know it will. So I am driving the vehicle to pick up and drop off participants that come to the wellness center. I also hang out and talk with them and get to know them, and let them know that they have a friend they can talk to. At the same time, I am taking peer support specialist training classes so that I can prepare myself to take the test and become officially certified. And then it might be easier to work my way up or find another job somewhere where I can use that certification to continue to help people. Um, that's where I'm at with that. So I'm juggling between studying and focusing on that, but also studying and focusing on my personal interest, which has been spirituality for like the past heavy 6 months now. Um, I'm at the point now where I read this book called The Spirit's Book, and I don't want to go into a lot of detail because there's so much I could talk to you guys about this book that this could end up being a 2-hour video. If you guys are curious, if you guys don't know, all my friends already know. I've already talked about this to all my friends. But if you guys are curious about that, ask me about it. Or I could sit down and make a whole video dedicated to talking about the Spirit's Book. Um, but it first of all, it caused this like almost spiritual awakening that happened to me. I think two weekends ago. I finished reading the book. It took me like 4 days to read the whole thing. I was reading it on my phone. I got the digital version of it, and then the whole thing just like kind of started settling in my head. And I had what I think is called cognitive disassociation or something like that, where like my whole perception of reality shattered, and I'm looking at life differently now. And it's freaking me out because I've never seen life from this perspective before. And it's a good perspective. It's not a bad perspective. It's like, wow, like I really have an impact on other people's lives, and other people have an impact on my life. And so the only conclusion is that we spread kind, loving and kindness, and not, you know, how we affect other people, make sure that it's good, more positive than it is negative. And it's also important on the spiritual journey that the whole point of going on a spiritual journey, the whole point of becoming more spiritual is that you're more focused on spiritual growth and less focused on the material world, right? And just a lot of things that this book said made so much sense to me. It was like, when like you think about something all the time, but you never talk about it. And then when a comedian says it on stage, it's the funniest thing ever you've ever heard, because it was like he said the thing that I was always thinking, but I never said it and I never heard anybody else said it. But the way that he said it was exactly the way it needs to be said. And it becomes like the most important thing you've heard the entire day. Now, imagine I'm reading this book, and like every other page I'm reading, I'm like, oh my God, it said the thing that I was thinking, but I've never was able to say out loud, because when I try to talk to people about this, they have a different opinion on it. And I'm like, holy shit, like this book is just, it makes so much sense to me. So that led me, long story short, okay, to help you understand this book. This book has a little over 1,000 questions and a little over 1,000 answers. This book was written by Allan Kardec in 1857 in France. I think he lived in France when he did this. Anyways, he was very curious about spirits and mediums and stuff like that. So he said, okay, well, let me take a scientific approach and create this like process so that I can get all these famous mediums together and they can ask the spirits all these questions, and then we can try to get some real answers. And then I'll put together this data and we'll figure out what the truth is and what's bullshit. Right? I'm talking so much. So that's what this book is. So this book is people who talk to spirits from the other side, ask them really important questions, got some really interesting answers, because you got to look this stuff up yourself, man. These answers in this book, nobody even had these ideas at the time. Like things about like equal rights and slavery and life on other planets and stuff like that talks about in this book. And at the time, people still thought that like the earth was the center of the universe, and that a lot of people were for slavery. A lot of people were extremely against equal rights. And this stuff like was against like everything wrong in the world. And that was just not the ideas going around at the time. So it was very interesting to read that and to know that like there was a lot of predictions actually made, undiscovered ideas in this book before anybody was talking about it. You look into it. There's even a YouTube video of a guy explaining the predictions this book made, and I find it very fascinating. Anyways, so that leads me to like, okay, in the book, so Allan Kardec is very supportive in the idea that you do this research yourself, figure out how to speak to spirits, and get the answers that you're looking for, so that you know this is true as well. Don't just believe my book, but do the research yourself. So that's where I'm at now. I'm at the point where I'm ready to start doing stuff like contacting spirits. And now I'll get into that here in a little bit with what that's going to look like, and how that's going to change my approach to YouTube. The next thing on the list is winter details and goals. Yeah, it is winter. It's winter now. My fridge is unplugged. I unplugged my fridge last winter, and I'm unplugging it now this winter. Because why it's so cold in winter? If you don't know science, the earth is further from the sun during winter. Well, this side of the earth is further from the sun in winter than it is in summer. That's why summer is so hot, because they're closer to the sun. On the northern hemisphere, though, on the northern hemisphere, not just the earth itself. Because in Australia and New Zealand right now, it is actually peak summer. and it's very hot over there. And that's because they're closer to the sun now and we're further from the sun. So with that being said, you guys know that I live on solar panels hooked up to a battery that powers my whole life. And the fridge is not getting enough solar to keep it alive. It's actually using more power than I can gain solar to keep it running. And we're also in the middle of raining season. So it'll be sunny, then it'll be very cloudy, then it'll be sunny, it'll be very cloudy. And that will also contribute to the lack of solar to power a refrigerator. So I'm switching to dry food. I actually want to cook. I'm cooking mac and cheese and chicken for lunch right after this video. I have no fridge. Which means I don't have milk or cheese or frozen meat. I do have access to other people's fridge and freezers, like my family's fridge and freezer. I also, the place that I'm volunteering at, that I'm working at, they said it's okay if I use a little bit of the fridge or freezer. So I will still buy meat and separate it through Ziploc bags and store it away in their freezers and then pull it out when I need it and let it thaw out overnight and then cook it the next day. So it's not the end of the world for me. I would rather do it this way so I can still use like a heated blanket, electric heated blanket off the solar, so I can still charge my devices, so I can still light up. It's so depressing in here when it's dark. Look, this is the only extra light that I have. And this light makes it look like I'm in a fucking ghost hunting video. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is kind of freaky. It's psychologically, I can't live like this, right? For my own mental health, I need my beautiful LED lights and my beautiful string lights, right? Look at the atmosphere. Look at that. Look at that compared to how creepy this is, man. Like, this is like, I'm ghost hunting right now, you know? And I want to say something right now, but I'm not ready to contact spirits yet. I'm not ready yet. I still got to focus on protecting myself. So, yeah, winter. We're in winter. I do have a Mr. Buddy heater to keep myself warm. And I also have this stove top fan that I hook it on there so that it blows the heat out in here and it warms up faster. It actually does work. If you guys have a Mr. Buddy heater, definitely get this fan kit. It goes on just like that. This sits on the tray. And then now this fan will blow the heat out instead of just sitting in one spot. It's awesome. I highly recommend that for anybody using a Mr. Buddy heater this winter. Is that it? Is that all my life update, my winter update? Yeah, I gotta do this video, then I gotta cook lunch, do the dishes, and then I really want to clean everything. I want to organize and clean, take all this stuff out or reorganize it, figure out what I need to throw away, because I'm probably not going to clean again until spring. I'll probably just live in my own filth until spring comes and then do a deep cleaning again, because it's going to be too cold. And I get into like this cozy vibe in the winter where I just want to bundle up in blankets and watch movies or play video games or doom scroll on the phone. I probably shouldn't do that, but that's what I want to do. That's the winter vibe. Okay. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It's winter. I woke up and it was 40 degrees in here. I got it up to 55 degrees. I'm looking and pointing at the temperature device right now. Yeah, it's winter. We'll get through it though. I would rather have lights and all my devices charged than to have a fridge. I'm just being completely honest with you guys. I can live off of dry foods. Uh, Here's something weird that you guys will probably find disgusting, but I actually find that it works. So I don't have a fridge to keep milk or butter right now, but I was looking into substitutes, alternatives. Um, there is a milk called Lala milk, and you can keep it out of the fridge, but after you open it, you have to put it in the fridge or it's going to go bad in a week. So I could get that and then I could get cereal just to make sure that I eat it before it goes bad. But what I also found out is that to substitute milk and butter in mac and cheese, you could just use coffee creamer. Original, not flavored, just original. This is just powdered creamer. There's nothing, this is not coffee, it's just creamer. You put in the mac and cheese, a little bit less than the amount of cheese powder they give you, and you mix it and it still comes out creamy and it's really good. And I tried it already and it was really good. And I think I'm gonna cook it again today. I know how disgusting that sounds, but definitely try it yourself before you judge it. Okay, where are we at now? Future of YouTube and then the outro. It's only been 16 minutes. All right. Future of YouTube. So, yeah, like I said, I'm very interested in contacting spirits now. I'm ready to contact spirits. This stuff doesn't scare me anymore. Like, this is reality. I'm going to experience this stuff after I die. I might as well understand what it is now. And I'm sure after I die, all my memories will come back and I'll understand what's on the other side because I've already been there. But I want to know now, I don't want to wait. So I'm investing in spiritual instruments. Let's call it that. This is called an EMF reader. Give it a second to settle down. You can see it's on a green light. Now, if there was a spirit in here, this thing would be flashing red. All right? There's no spirit in here. We're good. I have no spirits in here. I just built this house. There's no way that it can be haunted. I haven't died in here yet. I haven't killed anybody in here yet. And I have no plans to do that. That's a joke. Or is it? Just kidding. So this is an EMF reader. What it does is that it's looking for electromagnetic energy. And when it senses a lot of it, it's going to spike up. Right now it's sensing a little bit, and I don't know where that's coming from. I've already tested this on the microphone. It gives off a little bit, maybe a tiny bit, but it's not a whole lot. I tried it on my watch. The watch isn't triggering it. What does trigger it is these LED lights. You can see how it stays on yellow now when it's up to the LED light, and then goes down when it's away. So we're going to turn off the LED lights while I talk about this. I'm going to reset this box. This thing is very bright. Long story short, I have been watching a ton of Sam and Colby on YouTube. I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can because I can ramble about this for an hour. After buying and playing around with one of these, I am more skeptical about when they use this. For example, if this thing is anywhere near, like the LED lights, for example, it'll give you false positives on ghost, on spirits. If this is the power button, right? Right here is where you click to turn it on and off. When you turn on these devices, you have to give it a second to settle down because as soon as you turn it on, there's power coming out of the battery, and that power from the battery could be potentially messing with the reader. So you give it a second to calm down. Also, what I'm noticing is that when it's sticking straight up, it's picking up signal, but when I lay it flat down, it's not as strong. So I feel like that has something else to do with it. I feel like this device is supposed to be used diagonal like this and not like this. But back to the power button. Look what happens when I slightly push my thumb against the power button. You see how it's freaking out on red? Now knowing that playing around with this power button is causing it to spike, I don't trust when YouTubers have their thumb on the power button. Any video that I watch now, I especially Sam and Kobe, if their thumb is here and this thing's going off, do not trust it. Don't trust it. It's they're doing that on purpose, or they don't know that they're causing that. And either way, don't trust it. All right. So thumb on the power button causes it to spike. If they hold it like this on the side, it's okay. If they put their thumb down here towards the bottom, I'm trying to press on it and mess with it, it's not doing anything. So here is fine. Holding it like this is fine. Leaving it on a table or the floor is the most ideal. But thumb on the power button, which is right here, no. That's a big no. That's a big red flag. Don't trust the YouTubers who hold it that way. So I'm gonna leave this here while I continue to talk about this, because I am curious if it'll spike. If it turns red, tell me in the comments if it turned red. So anyways, I want to do this stuff. I want to get this equipment and experiment with contacting spirits, but I'm very, very, very skeptical. Since I was little, I've always been against the bullshit. If you guys know me, you guys know I'm very much against the bullshit. I love Sam and Kobe. I have no hate. This is not a diss towards them, but I can see after watching, I've binge watched all of their videos in the past week. Not every single video, but every video that they have uploaded in the past year, I have downloaded and watched it. I'm very entertained by them. I understand why people love them. But it's also the reason why I trust them the least when it comes to this kind of stuff. I've noticed that they are not true skeptic investigators, that they are in fact creating videos for high entertainment value to generate revenue. And so I have to be very cautious with watching their videos. A lot of times there's like things that happen that are obvious, it's not something paranormal, but they still freak out about it and make a big deal out of it and claim that it's a spirit when it's not. All right, so like for example, for a really good example, in every video, there's gonna be like creak noises. There's gonna be like the floor sounds like somebody might be taking a step. And you, the viewer, need to understand that it's not always a ghost. You need to understand how wood works. Now, take this from me, somebody who built their own tiny house a year and a half ago and still live in it, right? If you didn't know about this about me, I live in a box truck that I built a tiny house out of. Um, you can see the kitchen I built, the bed back here. I even built a wooden sliding glass door behind me. I live in my own creation, so I know how wood works. When this house heats up, I'll hear the wood pop or creak, because when wood heats, it expands. And when wood cools down, it collapses. And when wood is doing this, it's going to make sound, especially when you screw or nail wood together, they're going to rub against each other. So every time they hear a creak or the floor makes a creak and they're like, oh my God, it's a spirit. Oh my God, did you hear that? They're messing with us. It's bullshit. I'm sorry, but it's bullshit. It's not real. A true investigator would tell the viewers, hey, like that, don't worry about that. That we're in a house that's over 100 years old. It's gonna do that. It's over 100 years old, man. Like it's not ghost. I'm sorry, but it's not ghost. It's an old house. An old house, the wood, even in a new house, the wood breathes. Even in a new house, the wood is starting to morph and fit to how you're trying to shape it with the nails and how you cut it. It's trying to, the wood is breathing. The wood is always breathing. It's going to expand and heat and collapse in the cool. So off the bat, that's already, because I already know that, I know that these videos are being produced with high entertainment value in mind instead of true skeptical investigation work. And then, what also draws me to these videos is like all these gadgets that they use. And some of them are bullshit. Some of the tools are bullshit, like the flashlight trick. If you look up the flashlight trick, they use normal flashlights. They don't modify them. But if you unscrew it enough to the right before it starts to fall apart, again, with heat and cool, the plates inside of the flashlight connect and disconnect. So you'll see a lot of times, especially Sam will be asking questions and the flashlight will go off or on in the middle of the question or more towards the end of the question instead of like right after as a normal response. And that's because the flashlight is being fucked with. And there's some videos where the flashlight wasn't working while they were outside. And that's because it was too cold to heat up the thing in the flashlight to turn it on. So it's important to know basic science when you watch these videos so you can know when you're being bullshit. The reason why other YouTubers, ghost investigating YouTubers, aren't as entertaining as Sam and Kobe is because that high skepticism and the lack of all these like fun gadgets doesn't make a very interesting video. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. These other YouTubers are not blowing up because they're not using fancy gadgets and they're actually taking the time to be like, well, hold on. Like, was that actually a spirit or was that just some bullshit? Is that just, wood science of like heat and cold on wood? Or was it like a car that was driving by? Was it, like what's really going on? Those videos aren't as interesting to watch. So buying one of these and realizing that my thumb can cause this to freak out. Now, when I watch any videos that use these, if their thumb is here on the power button, I ain't buying it, bro. It's bullshit. I ain't buying it. If they leave it there, they just leave it on the table and let it do its thing, then I believe it. I'll believe it. Yeah, okay. It's just sit on the table. You can't fuck with it. That's legit. If that thing starts turning red, I'm gonna get goosebumps right now because I know that I'm not fucking around with it. There's nothing around it to set it off. That means some kind of energy would have to go up to that and cause that to turn red. And so I want to make videos documenting my experience with contacting spirits, but I want you guys to understand that I am completely against all the bullshit. I am very skeptical. If anything does happen, I have to stop and investigate the reality of things first. And if I can't explain it or recreate it, then we can start, going into the maybe this is spirits conversation, right? But only after then. So my videos are not going to be flashy and entertaining as much as like Sam and Kobe's, but they will be very truthful, and they will be experimental. They will be investigative. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to do that in here, or if I want to go find abandoned buildings to walk around and take the equipment with me and actually like figure out if there's anything going on. And I can do that as well. But there is a lot of danger when it comes to that, because I will have to be doing that stuff alone. I don't have friends who are interested in this stuff like I am. So it would be very dangerous for me to be alone with all this equipment on me, and I run into like a tweaker and they try to rob me for drug money, like it is dangerous. So I'm going to have to put a lot of thought into this, because there is spiritual danger of me possibly contacting something evil spirited. But then there's also the danger that comes with spirits in physical bodies who want to, who are evil spirited and want to cause me harm out of self-gain. And I want to make sure that I'm safe. I want to make sure that I'm safe spiritually and physically. So I hope, again, I'm not editing this video. I don't have time for that. I hope that this makes a lot of sense. I will be getting what's called a spirit box next month. I did get the Sam and Kobe spirit box because I think that, first of all, it is the best inexpensive spirit box to buy. The other ones were like $100 something bucks, but they're just radios. A spirit box is just a radio that has been modified to sweep through channels. So it'll sound like this, depending on how fast you put the sweep, or if it's slow to go. And then what's supposed to happen is a spirit can use its energy to pop a word out through the radio. So if it turns to a radio station, do I have a radio? I think I have a radio. This one definitely doesn't have a sweeping effect though. It might be dead actually. I don't think this thing has any power. No, this thing is dead. It didn't have a sweeping thing anyway. I'm gonna try to recreate it, but I can't. Just look up Spirit Box on YouTube and you'll see what I'm talking about. This thing sweeps through radios. A spirit's supposed to be able to push a word on a radio station out in order to communicate back with you. Some of that is bullshit, and then some of it I feel like is possible. And I want to get my own spirit box to play around with it and come to my own conclusion on what's going on. Some of the questions and answers that were said on these ghost videos, like Sam and Kobe, for example, didn't make any sense. I think was just some bullshit, was just some random radio popping out words, because that's just how the machine works. But a lot of some of the conversations were actual, like a conversation happening. And so I've seen the videos where they debunk the spirit box, but to me, like, I feel like there's some truth to the spirit box. I don't think it's completely bullshit. Especially when they do, it starts with the E. There's this version of the spirit box where they blindfold themselves and put on noise canceling headphones, and the person holding the box can hear it. So the people around them will ask questions, and then the person will hear words come out of the radio and they'll say it out loud. And a lot of those are like actual conversations and not just bullshit answers, but some of them are bullshit answers. And they'll get an answer and they'll make their own sense out of that word, and that word didn't really have any what's the word? Context. It didn't have any real context in the conversation that's being had. And then it's like, oh, why? Like, you're drawing conclusions from these words that are not, have nothing to do with the context that's being said right now. So it was a little weird. It felt a little bullshitty, but some of it was like, wow, like that's actually a spirit talking to them. You could tell. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with a lot of that. I will be talking about this stuff a lot more in the future. If this stuff interests you, definitely subscribe and stick around, and see where this goes. And if it doesn't interest you, like, I understand too. And yeah, unsubscribe or whatever, and don't watch. I get that. But if you're with me and you want to get down to the truth of all this, man, definitely go on this journey with me. Anyways, oh yeah, so any future videos are gonna be like that now. I'm just gonna start talking about this stuff, and I'm gonna start I'm investing in this the equipment, and we're gonna see what's really going on. Again, if you guys see YouTubers with their thumb on the power button, it's bullshit. I figured that out. If they have it sitting there like that, it's not bullshit. So yeah, I'm doing all right, you guys. I'm doing fine. I'm still surviving. I'm still trying to work my way up and build a career for myself in mental health while I indulge in personal interest as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. I hope you guys are doing all right yourselves. I hope you guys are taking care of your mental, your physical, and your spiritual. And I will see you guys when I see you guys.